at this stadium for the last time in their football careers.
Yeah, and just as you guys said, it's a bittersweet moment. And part of it is representing that you've almost completed the task of what you came to do when you started out at Auburn as a freshman. But it's also the representation of ending of a good time. Like you spend the last 4 years, sometimes 5, depending on COVID years, you may even get 6 now. And so, for a lot of these young men, you get a chance to reflect on the relationships that you've built as well. Jason and I, roommates here, and just, thinking and taking advantage of that and remembering, hey, man, it is important, to understand what you've built here, the time that you've had, embracing those moments, but also still there's something else to be done, and the task isn't finished. Like you said, there's still a football game to be played. There's another game next week. And so just looking at that, it's bittersweet, and it's exciting time, but it's also, a realization of, all good things do come to an end eventually. And so just realizing that, how to embrace those moments and build something else off of what you've already established and the relationships you've built here, Brad.
Let's run the list of guys who will be recognized on the field today. John Reese-Ballou, Marcus Bragg, Nick Brahms, Hayden Bryce, Marquise Burks, Anders Carlson, Brendan Coffey, Sammy Cohen, Brandon Council, Derek Hall, Shedrick Jackson, Alec Jackson, Morris Joseph Jr., Eku Leota, Barton Lester, Trey Lindsay, Tommy Neesmith, Owen Papo, Nehemiah Pritchett, John Samuel Schenker, Austin Troxel, Colby Wooden, and Killian Zier. It's a lot of guys
and
right
their
there.
families.
And their families will be on the field recognized as well.
And part of the realization of this is that's a lot of big-name guys that aren't coming back next year. So that next head coach for Auburn, it's a bit of a rebuilding process to be sure, because if nothing more than a lot of these guys, big-name players, are moving on, hopefully getting a shot at the NFL.
Well, thank goodness for the transfer portal.
You're right.
You can flip a season
exactly
real
right.
quick now. The transfer portal and some big-time recruits.
You certainly can. And by the way, that's an approach that Western Kentucky took last season into this year. We'll talk a little more about that as we go along. It's time now for What's on the Menu, a loaded Tiger Tailgate show for you today. What's on the Menu is presented by Whataburger, introducing the new Whataburger Breakfast Bowl. That's right, one convenient bowl filled to the brim with the fresh baked biscuits, scrambled eggs, crispy hash browns, creamy gravy, shredded cheddar jack cheese, and your choice of sausage or bacon. Available for a limited time. Auburn's new athletics director, John Cohen, will be on the stage with us inside of 30 minutes. We'll also talk with longtime Auburn offensive line coach, longtime NFL tight ends coach, James Daniel, later in the show today. Corey Edwards, who's the advisor to the Aubie program, will be in our campus spotlight. We'll talk to him shortly. We'll also visit with former Auburn defensive back, current Tennessee Titan, that's divisional leading Tennessee Titan, Roger McCreary, and Jeff Miller, who wrote an outstanding book on the 1972 Auburn Tigers, will join us on the stage in a little less than an hour. So a very exciting show, varied guests, varied topics all coming up over the next 2 hours. Stay with us. The Tiger Tailgate Show continues in a moment.
Conecuh Sausage is a product we all know and love, and it's the official sausage and hot dog of the Auburn Tigers. Conecuh Sausage is made from the finest cuts of pork, patented blend of seasonings, all natural casings, and smoked over a pure hickory fire for that true southern flavor. Enjoy a crowd-pleasing Conecuh Sausage dog or premium hot dog while watching the Tigers, and make Conecuh part of your game day or any day. Conecuh Sausage is celebrating their 75th year at the Sessions family, making their premium smoked sausage in Evergreen, Alabama. Be sure to visit the new Conecuh gift shop right off I-65 at exit 96.
It takes hard work to be the best in the game. Planning, commitment, resilience, sweat. That's why Old Dominion Freight Line, the #1 national LTL carrier for quality, works hard to be the best in the game and is proud to support those striving to be the best in theirs. Old Dominion Freight Line, official freight carrier of Auburn Athletics, helping the world keep promising.
The Edward Via College of Osteopathic Medicine in Auburn is dedicated to its mission of transforming medical students into caring, compassionate physicians. VCOM partners with Auburn University for student activities, shared learning experiences, and research opportunities. Students are instructed in a hands-on learning environment by outstanding faculty members that are dedicated to student success. VCOM is working to improve the health of Alabama's citizens by increasing the number of primary care physicians throughout the state, especially in rural and underserved areas. Find out more at vcom.edu.
Saturdays in the South mean football and outdoor projects. And like an all-American lineup, nothing works harder or better than quality John Deere equipment. So get to Sun South, where it's more affordable than ever to own the best equipment available. Plus, discover our new selection of John Deere compact construction equipment, perfect for larger projects. Think Sun South, with 21 locations throughout the Southeast, or shop online at sunsouth.com. Sun South, proud to be the preferred tractor of the Auburn Tigers.
This is a 2-minute drill on the Tiger Tailgate Show, presented by Conecuh Sausage.
Brad Lawn, the voice of the Tigers, Andy Burcham. November is a busy time. It's busy throughout the athletics calendar, no different this week, and another successful week thus far. Auburn Equestrian closed out the fall portion of its schedule yesterday with an emphatic win over the defending national champions, Oklahoma State, 15-4.
Yeah, 15-4 was the final. They end their fall portion of the schedule with just one loss, and it was disputed, by the way.
Yeah.
At that. Men's basketball, of course, played a much better second half last night with a win against Texas Southern. They're literally on the plane right now, about to fly to Cancun. They'll play Bradley on Tuesday at 5 o'clock Central. Women's basketball suffered its first loss. A really tough first quarter, but came back and actually took a lead after trailing by 15 against Georgia Tech. Swimming and diving, swimming this weekend at Georgia. Some school record times already coming out of that. So, I mean, Auburn is finishing a lot of the fall portion of the schedule very, very strong.
Double back to men's basketball. Tigers were without Janai Broom in last night's game, and some guys had to play different positions. Chris Moore was impressive with 14 points. And now we look ahead. You'll get on that plane, and I will too. We'll get on the plane tomorrow to head down to Cancun. Talk about the two games coming up Tuesday, Wednesday in the Cancun Challenge.
Bradley at 5 o'clock Central, and then either Liberty or Northwestern in the final game on Wednesday. Could be 5, could be 7:30 as the Tigers play down in Cancun. And then Auburn is right back here the day after.
Yeah.
The day after Iron Bowl, maybe their toughest non-conference game to date. St. Louis U here at 2 o'clock.
BP last night said St. Louis and a couple of the teams in the SEC will be the toughest games they play at home all season long.
Guarantee you.
No question. So a busy 7-8 days coming up there across Auburn athletics. Stay with us more of the Tiger Tailgate Show next. This is the Auburn Sports Network.
Kia of Auburn is happy to connect the Kia brand to the Auburn fans. Our winning lineup has something for everyone at almost any budget. SUVs like the Telluride, Sorrento, and Sportage. You prefer a sedan? Check out the Rio, Forte, Soul, or the Sporty Stinger. And don't forget our new multi-purpose vehicles, the Carnival, or our amazing hybrid or electric vehicles. Kia of Auburn is a proud supporter of Auburn athletics. Kia of Auburn, where you're always number one. Whoa, Rico.
Hillman here with This Week in Auburn Athletics. Number 13, Auburn men's basketball defeated Texas Southern last night, 72-56, to move to 4-0 on the season. Head coach Bruce Pearl talks about the win.
Yeah, that's a good win. We guarded throughout the game. We played as a good physical team. We turned it over too much. We're sloppy a little bit offensively. That cost us in the South Florida game. It cost us in this game. We got to do a better job of taking care of the basketball.
The Tigers return to action on Tuesday for the Cancun Challenge against Bradley at 5 Central. Auburn Sports Network coverage begins at 4:30. Number 3, Equestrian took down defending national champions and number 7, Oklahoma State yesterday, 15-4. The victory gave Auburn a 6-1 record at the conclusion of its fall schedule. Women's basketball returns to Neville Arena tomorrow. So is Alabama State at 2 Central. Coverage begins at 1:45 locally on FM Talk 93.9 and everywhere on the Auburn Athletics app. To view full schedules and more information, visit auburntigers.com. For This Week in Auburn Athletics, I'm Jacob Hillman, War Eagle.
Recruiting plays a major role in team building. Recruiting also plays an important role in protecting my home from termites with Cook's Pest Control and the Centricon system. Termites eat the bait in the Centricon stations, then eagerly recruit other termites to also feed on the bait, thus eliminating the termite colony. You don't have to live with termites. Call Cook's Pest Control for a free quote.
Looky, 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 here comes Cookie, Cook's Pest Control.
And we are back on the Tiger Tailgate Show. Special thanks to everyone who registered your kids online for the Kickoff Kid contest throughout the season here at Jordan-Hare Stadium. It's been brought to you all year long by Berkshire Hathaway Home Services. Joining us now is the Director of the Office of Student Involvement, Corey Edwards, also the advisor to the Aubie program. Corey, I know you were just beating down the doors to get on the stage today, and you love the spotlight so much. You know,
yes.
we appreciate you coming on and shedding a little light on this program that just brings so much joy to so many people.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. Spending some time talking about our favorite Tiger.
How busy is it for Aubie and the Aubie program, especially this time of the year as we're gearing up for the holidays?
Yeah, it's quite a challenge. Student-led program, I'd say just using round numbers, we're talking about 1,600 requests that Aubie receives in a year, and we will tackle about 1,100 to 1,200 of those appearance requests. It's a pretty heavy load.
Goodness gracious.
I had no idea it was that many.
It's that many. It's that many.
It's amazing that one Tiger can be in all those places. He must have an incredible team of folks helping.
He does. This is a student-led program. It's about 8 students selected each year to coordinate the program. And so we say Aubie has 4 friends. Aubie himself has been here for 44 years, but Aubie has 4 friends that help bring him to life and move him around, and then about 4 other directors that help with all the scheduling and the costumes and figuring out all the logistics of getting him to those 1,100 to 1,200 appearances.
How long for you, Corey, to be involved in the program?
This is year 15. Year 17 at Auburn, year 15, having the honor to work with this incredible program that's bigger than all of us. It's that spirit, goodwill ambassador for the university, and here to promote the Auburn spirit across the country and across the world.
Yeah.
Aubie has won, I don't know, how many national championships? 10? Is it 10
national championships.
10 national championships. And clearly, I think one of the most, if not the most recognizable of all the mascots across the country. Dare I say, when you started 15 years ago, you probably weren't fielding 1,500 requests, or were you? I'm not sure.
No, probably not. The numbers are definitely grown, and through that that exposure and winning those championships, it's definitely brought on some added appearances and exposure for the program at Auburn University. But 10 championships, very fortunate to have 10. There's a banner right over there across on the Melton Student Center recognizing that. And we just learned 2 days ago that Aubie has received a bid to go compete for his 11th national championship in January at Disney World. So
wow.
Back getting ready for that competition MLK weekend.
Like Stan White, Aubie is in the Hall of Fame too, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
One of the first, or the first, actually, collegiate mascot inducted in the Hall of Fame. And there is a physical Hall of Fame in Whiting, Indiana, right outside of Chicago. And so he's got an exhibit, and fans and people from all over the country have the opportunity to visit that every year.
How do you qualify, and how many contestants are there in the national championship?
Great question. Earlier, a couple weeks ago, actually, we submitted a video. So there's an entry video that you submit highlighting all that happens throughout a year, showing the community service and athletic events and character and whatnot, school activities that go on. And so highlighting what happens in a year of the Aubie program, you submit that, it's judged, and then 10 mascots are selected or invited down to Disney World to compete, and he will now create a skit, a performance that he will do at the ESPN Wild World of Sports.
When will that take place, Corey?
It'll take place MLK weekend.
Okay.
Saturday of MLK weekend.
This may seem like a silly question, but it wouldn't be the first time I've asked a silly question. We all know Aubie is creative, but now the props and the skits and the ideas, how does that all come together?
Definitely not for me, so I'm far from that. The students are so creative. They take it upon themselves. It starts in the summer. They start planning. We know our opponents, and so they start thinking of ideas of what they can do to entertain fans. That's what we're here for. And so each week before a home game on Tuesday evenings, they invite the Auburn student body to come to the Student Center and help figure out what Aubie, all those props and costumes that you see along the sidelines, that's all student-led and driven, and that's what's great and makes this thing great is that the students are at the forefront of it and have fun with it.
Back to the mascot competition coming up in January. Who does Aubie consider his primary competition these days?
Yeah, so this year I would say we've obviously some of our SEC friends from Tennessee, Smokey and Harry Dog, UGA, Big Al from Alabama, are always competition. A lot of our Big Ten friends, the Bucky the Badger from Wisconsin, Brutus from Ohio State, and the Gopher from Minnesota are consistent challengers for us.
Hilltopper is pretty good. The Western Kentucky mascot pretty good too.
Absolutely. Yeah. Excited to host them this weekend, and so we'll see the Hilltopper on the sideline, and there's Aubie has had some interactions with the Hilltopper in the past. Positive.
Good.
Nothing bad. Nothing bad.
Glad you clarified that.
I wanted to clarify that. I wanted to let that line sit.
No bad blood. We're not looking for clashes.
Yeah, not looking for
No
that.
form tackling on the sideline, right?
Red blobs
those
on the
days
sideline.
are in the past. We actually have a policy around that SEC policy that they can't
Is that
interact. Right? Oh yeah,
a league policy now.
There used to be a lot of jumping off that mic man stand and tackling and WWE, whatever you want to call it. So
had to rein it in a little bit.
Had to rein it in. Okay. That's an official SEC policy.
Well, Corey,
you seem disappointed.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with healthy aggression. Right? Come on. All right. We're so close to Thanksgiving, and that means it's Aubie Claws season as well.
Absolutely. We just wrapped up day 5. So the past 2 weeks, we had the opportunity. We had 1,500 appointments of Aubie Claws that we could host. We had
how many pictures you think?
We had about 4,000 entries to get one of those 1,500 spots, and so we had a lot of demand. And we hate that we're not able to host everyone, but as of last night, I think we've hosted about 6,000 friends, family, guests from all over the South and actually all over the country.
And
Texas,
ages,
South Carolina, all ages, yes, not just the kids. The adults are all about it. So, lots of photos. I think well over 12 to 15,000 photos.
Goodness gracious.
Man,
that's awesome.
Well, Corey, talk, if you would, before we let you go, about your role, your kind of day-to-day role with the I know you don't like to make it about you, but
it's not.
Yeah.
I'm just here to keep them within the parameters. Use the charge the credit card and pay the bills. And no, it's good. I'm here to help these students succeed. And like I said, it's bigger than all of us. And this is a huge opportunity and big responsibility for these students to represent Auburn all across the country. And so my role is just to help support them and make sure they have all the resources and help them with those logistics of getting him around to all across the country to these appearances.
Well, obviously we appreciate you coming on and talking. We if Aubie could talk, we might have had Aubie himself put the headset on.
I've done one of those interviews before.
I know, and not everybody appreciated the humor behind the idea. You included. Yeah. But that's all right. Corey, thank you very much for your work with the program. Really, I mean, it's really hard to put into words how much joy Aubie brings to people. You see it all the time. Thank you for sharing.
Appreciate it. Thank you all for having us.
Thank you, Corey.
War Eagle. Corey Edwards, Director of Student Involvement and Advisor to the Aubie program here on the Tiger Tailgate Show. Well, stick around. The crowd is starting to build or continuing to build. It will be a chilly day inside Jordan-Hare Stadium as the Tigers and Hilltoppers get together. Senior Day and the home finale as Auburn looks for back-to-back wins to close out the season here at Jordan-Hare Stadium. Stick around. Auburn's Director of Athletics, John Cohen, is coming up on the stage in just 6 minutes when the Tiger Tailgate Show continues in a moment.
In the 2005 Iron Bowl, Auburn's pass rush was relentless from start to finish as the Tigers looked for their 6th win against top 10 teams in 7 tries, with Auburn and Alabama entering the game with the best combined records since 1994. Auburn had a chance to clinch at least a share of the SEC Western Division title for an Auburn Bank championship moment after this.
The official motions for quiet. That's Ed from Auburn Bank looking over another commercial loan application. He's assessing the capital needs of the small business. Long-term local relationships are his specialty. The client's liking it. They're really liking it. They love it! Exactly the hands-on experience they were looking for. Another local business with the capital they need for a big win. Auburn Bank, champions of you. Member FDIC.
McClain actually comes in motion from right to left. Here's Kroll. He'll throw on first down. And he'll go down at the 10-yard line. Auburn, Wayne Dickens, and Tommy Jackson delivered quite the greeting to Mr. Kroll on the first play of the game. Kroll out of the shotgun. On 3rd and 13, takes the snap. Here comes McClover off the end. Here comes someone up the middle. Down Kroll goes at the 6-yard line. Quinn Groves. 4th down play for Kroll. Here comes pressure. Down he goes at the 15-yard line. Antarius Williams. How fitting is that?
The Auburn defense recorded 11 sacks, the most in a single game in program history, with Stanley McClover leading the way with 3.5, and 6 other Tigers getting to the Alabama quarterback. The pass rush led the way to a 28-18 win and Auburn's 4th consecutive Iron Bowl victory. This was a championship moment presented by Auburn Bank, champions of you.
This is a 2-minute drill on the Tiger Tailgate Show, presented by Conecuh Sausage.
All right, we'll use this 2-minute drill to check the Yellowwood scoreboard, brought to you by Great Southern Wood, makers of Yellowwood brand pressure-treated pine. If it doesn't have that yellow tag, you don't want it. 4 SEC teams are underway now. Well, 5 SEC teams, 4 games. 3 stepping outside of conference play. Number 8, Alabama leads Austin Peay 17-0 in the final minute in the first half. They've gone to the half in College Station. Texas A&M really pouring it on UMass. It's 10-3 at the half. Aggies on top. Meanwhile, Mississippi State really is pouring it on East Tennessee. It's 35-0 at the half. The Bulldogs on top. And in Nashville, Vanderbilt leads Florida 14-6. That Commodore defense has only allowed a couple of Gator field goals. Meanwhile, Vanderbilt with 2 second-quarter touchdowns. It's 14-6, doors over the Gators inside of 30 seconds to go in the first half. Checking top 25 scores outside the SEC. Number 3, Michigan at home against Brett Bielema's Illinois club. Wolverines lead 7-3 in a defensive struggle inside of 2 minutes to go in the first half on a chilly day in Ann Arbor. Out in Waco, number 4 TCU and Baylor are tied at 14 as they approach halftime. Elsewhere, it is number 20 UCF hosting Navy. They started this one early, 10:30 or 11 or 10 or 10:30 in the morning, and Navy leads UCF 17-14. A minute 15 to go in the third quarter. Number 19 Florida State blanking Louisiana 35-0 as they play late in the first half in Tallahassee. Still to come in the SEC, Georgia is at Kentucky today, and elsewhere, number 2 Ohio State is at Maryland. And number 15, Kansas State visits West Virginia. Some of the games will be starting before our game kicks off today. Auburn and Western Kentucky, a 3:01 Central Time kick. More pregame straight ahead. This is the Auburn Sports Network.
When Auburn basketball hits the half, keep it locked on the Auburn Sports Network for the Conecuh Sausage Halftime Show. Conecuh Sausage Company is proud to be the official smoked sausage and hot dog of the Auburn Tigers. Stats and scores from around college basketball, plus a look around Auburn athletics, getting you ready for the rest of the game. The Conecuh Sausage Halftime Show, only on the Auburn Sports Network.
The Edward Via College of Osteopathic Medicine in Auburn is dedicated to its mission of transforming medical students into caring, compassionate physicians. VCOM partners with Auburn University for student activities, shared learning experiences, and research opportunities. Students are instructed in a hands-on learning environment by outstanding faculty members that are dedicated to student success. VCOM is working to improve the health of Alabama's citizens by increasing the number of primary care physicians throughout the state, especially in rural and underserved areas. Find out more at vcom.edu.
Thinking of advancing your career with a master's degree in business? If so, consider the graduate degree choices at Auburn University's Harbert College of Business. Ranked among the nation's best, we offer full-time and online programs in finance, supply chain management, information systems, accounting, and business administration. Learn more at harbert.auburn.edu.
The Alabama Manufactured Housing Association is a proud sponsor of the 2022 Auburn Tigers. Since 1968, the Alabama Manufactured Housing Association has led the way for the manufactured and modular housing industry. Manufactured and modular housing provides safe, innovative, and affordable housing solutions for nearly 500,000 Alabamians. To learn more about AMHA or to find an authorized retailer near you, visit alamha.org.
We are back on the Tiger Tailgate Show, presented by Conecuh Sausage. Brad Law, voice of the Tigers, Andy Burcham, and Jason Campbell. We'll talk a little bit about this game, and we'll be joined momentarily by new Director of Athletics, John Cohen. Don't forget the game picks coming up in just about 15 minutes, and more special guests coming up next hour on the show. By the way, if you're looking for an easy, seamless transition to Auburn University, consider Southern Union State Community College. Conveniently located just a few miles from Auburn, Southern Union offers classes that easily transfer to the university. Endless opportunities are right up the road. Guys, let's talk about a guy who's not a senior but who's having an outstanding stretch run this year, and that is Tank Bigsby, kind of finally breaking out, and we're seeing some of the Tank that we thought we would see throughout the year. Since the Georgia game, he's averaging 6.7 yards per carry on 67 rushes. The teams that have had the most success against Western Kentucky this year have been able to run the ball effectively. Auburn is committed even more so to running the ball of late. I think you should expect to see another healthy dose of Tank Bigsby today.
Oh, yes, no doubt. Anytime you're playing against a Western Kentucky team that likes to throw the ball a lot and who can really – and very successful at doing it. So you know they can score points at averaging 37 points per game. Like, that's a lot of points. And they lead the nation in first down. So, you know, this is a team that can put points up. And for us offensively, what we have to do is make sure we keep them on the sideline by rushing the football and making it a physical football game.
Carnell's not he's not trying to trick anybody about running the football right now, Ronnie. I mean, he wants it in the hands of Tank and Robbie and Jarquez. That's the offense right now.
Yeah, absolutely. That was his goal. You know, obviously as a running back, he's, you know, biased to that part of the game, but he also understands the importance of being able to run the football. When you have as talented of a backfield as Auburn has, you have to establish that and get that going. Also, you know, with playing a little bit of merry-go-round with offensive linemen and having to substitute, put guys in, that's the best opportunity for those guys to be aggressive. And so if they're able to do that, it gives them the upper hand instead of being on the retreat when you're doing a lot of pass blocking. And also with Robbie, you have to just understand that, you know, the more he gets involved with his legs, the more comfortable he can become, and then he can create some of those passes down the field.
All right, we're going to talk more about the matchup as we count you down to Auburn and Western Kentucky. We are very pleased to be joined now by Auburn's new Director of Athletics, John Cohen. Welcome to the stage, War Eagle. Thanks for making us part of what I'm sure is a really hectic game day schedule for you.
Yeah, and I'm running a little bit late, so I apologize to you guys.
What is game day like for you, John?
Yeah.
It's exactly what you want. You know, you get to the opportunity to be around recruits in every sport. It's the opportunity to be around our great fans and supporters. It's an opportunity to be part of the operations of a game day. It's a lot of fun. It's challenging, but it's something that's a lot of fun.
Describe maybe the similarities and the differences when you go from being a head coach at one school to taking another job as the head coach at another school versus being the director of athletics at one school and changing jobs.
Man, that's a new one. Nobody's ever asked me that.
Thank you very much.
That's
Brad Law, ladies and gentlemen.
There we are. Thank you.
That is terrific. Each school has its own identity, and you've got to create your own fit. And, you know, we've used that word a lot, Andy, haven't we? Fit. I think, you know, in baseball, it's amazing is, okay, so you have your facility. How is it set up? Is it an offensive ballpark? Is it a defensive ballpark? When I was at Kentucky and I went to Mississippi State, a very offensive ballpark at Kentucky. At Mississippi State, it was a very defensive and pitching-oriented ballpark. You kind of have to adjust unless you're going to build a new facility, which we did. But, yeah, I think the athletic director position is so different because even though each institution is so unique, you are in the Southeastern Conference, and there's a ton more collaboration among athletic directors and the administration than there is coaches. When you're in a coaches meeting in the SEC, it's a war. Yeah. Everybody's shaking hands, but everybody's trying to determine, you know, strategy there. When you're an athletic director, everybody's trying to figure out a way to, especially in these uncertain times of name, image, and likeness and everything else, everybody's kind of working together to do what we can do for the student athletes.
Well, John, I got a chance to meet you very small last week at the new athletic facility and everything, but look forward to talking to you. My question is a two-part question. One is, you know, being in the SEC, everyone understands the competitiveness of facilities. And, you know, Auburn has a major one that we just opened here now. And then we're looking at doing other things around the campus. But talk about the competitiveness of why facilities are important in the SEC. And then the other part is your great wife, because you haven't had time probably to sleep, and she got to find a house and everything else while you have to be here and there. So just talk about moving from a state to another state and have to get situated as quickly as possible.
Well, I'm a little intimidated because I'm sitting here around greatness. I mean, all of you. And Jason, what an honor it is to be around you. I mean, what a heck of a player you are, and now moving on to a new career in broadcasting. But yeah, I mean, it's a challenge. You know, we're going to find a place. We're not going to be on the streets. We're going to find a place to stay.
We've got an extra room at our house, so just throw that out there for you.
But you know, we're very fortunate. Both my kids, I have one who's 28, one's 26. So both those guys are doing a great job of getting off the payroll. You know, so they're kind of taking care of themselves. But yes. this has been such an easy transition just because the people of Auburn are everything I thought they would be, and it's just been wonderful.
John, we know that you're right in the middle of the search for the new football coach, but Jason brought up an interesting topic of facilities. I know that was something that was very important, and you made a lot of headway at Mississippi State. So if you would just talk about that priority here at Auburn.
That's right. Jason was just asking about facilities, and I skipped right over it. You know, the football facilities obviously here are among the best, if not the best in the country. The indoor facility, the Waltos facility it's breathtaking.
Yeah.
I mean, folks have asked me, hey, what do you think? I've seen it online. What is it? There's one word, wow.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all you can say. If you're a football recruit and you walk through that building and you don't want to be part of Auburn football, you know, you worry about that. But at the same time, we're in a new world and a new era, and NIL weighs into it as well. I always think facilities are going to matter, but certainly this NIL era is going to matter. You know, student athletes are going to get compensated in one way or another. I think there's a better way to do it. But the world we're in right now, we've got to be competitive in that way. And thank goodness we have had tremendous leadership of folks who want Auburn University to be at the forefront of name, image, and likeness.
Do you believe there's anything from your background and experience as a head baseball coach for so many years that uniquely qualifies you for a job as director of athletics today, given short-term, long-term visions that you have to have, just to your point, in this modern world of how to balance this fiscal responsibility and this student-athlete experience and everything that's involved in overlooking an athletic department?
I think if you're a baseball coach at the highest level, you're uniquely positioned, if you do it well, to get into administration. Here's why. 27 players, 30 players, sharing 11.7 scholarships. You better have some vision. You better understand what the draft looks like. You better understand what your high school kids are going to do. You better understand what your juniors who are draft eligible are going to do. You better connect with the parents. You better have a plan A, B, C, D, E, and F to be successful in baseball. You know, when I was a baseball coach, I would, in the summers, when you get to June and July, a lot of the coaches would go off and relax and have some time to themselves, which is very important. The baseball coach, and Butch Thompson might be the best in the entire country right here on this campus, you are sweating it. Yeah. Because the class you just put together that's ranked in the top 5 in the country could be gone in a matter of seconds. And then your entire fan base is looking, you should have known that. And I always used to say, man, I left my crystal ball at the house. So, yeah, I think when you talk about budgeting, I think when you talk about doing research, when you talk about having vision for the future, I do. I think baseball coaches are uniquely positioned in that way.
You and I have talked about this. You had an eye, though, on administration for a while, didn't you?
I did.
Yeah.
Scott Strickland, my good friend at Florida, the athletic director, who also served time that he really enjoyed at Auburn here.
I've got many stories about Scott.
Yeah, Scott's great. But Scott tells me the story of a doubleheader at Auburn, and in between games, we had rain, and he took me aside and he said, what do you want to do? And I said, I want to play professional baseball, and then I want to be an athletic director. Now, I don't remember saying that, but I never said I wanted to be a baseball coach. I kind of backed into that a little bit. But, yeah, it's just always been a dream. I've lived in 7 different Southeastern Conference cities.
Wow.
You know, and it just gets in your blood, and it's something that's just – and I just feel so honored to be part of this because – from the very beginning, it has been apparent to me, even before coming to Auburn, you realize that Auburn University is priority number 1 to all these great people. It really is. Now, football is a close second, and athletics are a close second, but certainly Auburn people love Auburn, and they love Auburn whether we're doing really, really well on the field or not. And trust me, we're going to do really, really well on the field in the future.
Well, I just had a quick question, and then I'll turn it over to Brad. You got Texas and Oklahoma coming to the SEC here very soon. How do you see that making such a big change in the SEC?
You know, folks will ask you, they'll say, hey, what's going to be like for you to play at Texas or at Oklahoma? I said, well, we go to Alabama. we go to LSU. And when I was at Mississippi State, I'd say we go to Auburn. Those are some of the greatest environments in all of college football. I mean, it's just, to me, it's a little bit of more of the same. If you're asking me if those 2 environments or those 2 programs make the SEC better, I would say yes, they make them better. Are they the best? Tradition would tell you, in recent tradition, maybe not as good as what we've had in the league over the last 10, 12 years. That doesn't mean they can't get there. But certainly at this point in time, it does add depth to our league. Is it adding to the very top of our league? Or if you look at the last 10, 12 years, maybe not.
Yeah. They get to come here now, too.
That's right.
That's what they say. All right, John, thank you very much again for
Enjoyed
stopping by today and giving us a few minutes. We look forward to everything that's happening in the future. War Eagle.
War Eagle. Thank you.
Auburn's new athletic director, John Cohen, joining us here on the stage. Stay tuned. In 6 minutes, our game picks. You're going to want to stick around for that when the Tiger Tailgate Show continues in a moment.
Recruiting plays a major role in team building. Recruiting also plays an important role in protecting my home from termites with Cook's Pest Control and the Citricon system. Termites eat the bait in the Citricon stations, then eagerly recruit other termites to also feed on the bait, thus eliminating the termite colony. Discover how affordable it is to protect your home. Call Cook's Pest Control.
Looky, 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 here comes Cookie, Cook's Pest Control.
And we're back with breaking news. Coke Zero Sugar might be the best Coke ever.
That's right, Jim. Coke Zero Sugar is a must-try for any Coke fan, so make sure you... Jim. Jim. We're on the air.
Ooh, yes, this tastes like the best Coke ever to me. Your thoughts, Jen?
Well, can I have a sip?
Jen, we're in the middle of reporting the news.
I need to try it first.
Putting together a winning drive
from the shotgun.
takes focus, determination,
There's the snap, dropping back.
and that powerful form of energy
Scrambles to his right, looking downfield.
called belief.
Launches it toward the end zone.
That belief in a team, in a community of fans, in each other.
Touchdown!
That powerful energy connects us all. Alabama Power is a proud supporter of the Auburn Tigers. Power for a better Alabama.
This is Auburn head coach and proud Ford F-150 owner, Bruce Pearl. The thing I hear most when people get in the cab of my F-150 is, this truck is huge. Well, I drive around some pretty big players, and when I get a 7-footer in the back seat and he's able to spread out, he's just blown away at how roomy and comfortable this truck is. So visit your local Ford dealer and check out Ford F-150, the official truck of the Auburn Tigers.
Not all models, trims, or features may be available. Contact your dealer for more information.
This is a 2-minute drill on the Tiger Tailgate Show, presented by Conecuh Sausage.
It is always one of our favorite topics for a 2-minute drill when we get to the week before Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
The favorite Thanksgiving side dish discussion. Let's break it out, Stan White.
You know, it's hard to pick just one. I mean, I got to go with dressing. I like the cornbread dressing, but I also like the turkey little pieces in it, mixed in it as well. Got to have a little gravy with it. But
do you want a moist dressing or like a firmer, drier?
I don't like it too moist, too firm. I like about medium.
Okay.
You know, type.
Medium moistness.
But also you can't go wrong with a sweet potato casserole or green bean casserole or both.
Sweet potato casserole. Do you want marshmallow on top or pecans on top?
Pecans. Maybe sometimes a little chocolate topping with pecans mixed in it. That's
a little chocolate
topping?
topping?
It's like a little, it's a little
That's
Coke,
a dessert.
Well,
mac and cheese?
Yeah, that's what but sweet potatoes.
Cranberry sauce.
No mac and cheese?
Cranberry sauce. You could
love cranberry sauce. Cranberry relish, cranberry out of the can. I don't care.
Oh,
what?
wow.
Delicious.
No
Wait
way. No way.
On the schedule, it says Stan White is doing this 2-minute drill.
I knew how slanted it was going to get. This
cranberry
was a flat-out
sauce.
argument last year in South Carolina. I was bullied about cranberry sauce.
And you're going to keep being bullied about cranberry sauce.
That would be like 8th on the list down of side items.
I wouldn't even put it on my
one.
list.
It is number one.
You guys watching, cranberry sauce, yes. Hands up. Couple.
But not over dressing, not over green bean
like the
casserole,
canned
sweet potato casserole, right?
Listen, hey, can't. Cranberry sauce, no. Hands up. Cranberry sauce, no.
Yeah, there's about
no.
1 or 2 people.
Yeah,
Justin,
everybody's saying
you be
no.
quiet, Justin.
They don't want it. They don't like it.
Fresh-made cranberry sauce.
Give it to me then.
Skip it across the water and let it sink.
If you thought that was fun, picks are next. Stay tuned. This is the Auburn Sports Network.
Putting together a winning drive
30 long from the shotgun.
takes focus, determination,
There's the snap, dropping back.
and that powerful form of energy
Scrambles to his right, looking downfield.
called belief.
Launches it toward the end zone.
That belief in a team, in a community of fans, in each other.
Touchdown!
That powerful energy connects us all. Alabama Power is a proud supporter of the Auburn Tigers. Power for a better Alabama.
Who out there likes chicken and eggs? Both are protein-packed and loaded with essential vitamins and minerals to keep you healthy and your immune system strong. Start your morning with a delicious omelet with all your favorite fix-ins. Or have some grilled chicken for dinner. Here in Alabama, we can't beat that. However you choose to enjoy chicken or eggs, remember, they're good for you and great for Alabama.
In football, it's important to call the right play. In life, it can be even more important to make the right call, especially regarding termite protection. To protect my home, I called Cook's Pest Control and got the Centricon system. You don't have to live with termites. For a free quote, make the right call. Cook's Pest Control and the Centricon system.
Looky, 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 here comes Cookie, Cook's Pest Control.
Things we take for granted, ordinary opportunities for parents and their children, can be a foster child's extraordinary. You have the power to do something positive that will change the life of a young person right here in Alabama. Open your heart and open your home to a foster child today. For more information, visit www.dhr.alabama.gov or call 1-866-64-AL-KIDS. Brought to you by the Alabama Department of Human Resources, the Alabama Broadcasters Association, and this station.
We are back on the Tiger Tailgate
Cranberry
Show.
sauce.
Most of us are healthy.
Are we done with that segment?
Yeah, we're done
Oh,
with the
sorry.
cranberry.
All right,
Would you
keep
stop
going.
it?
I'm sorry.
Cranberry's only good on Thanksgiving.
It's not even good on Thanksgiving.
Nobody eats Thanksgiving or cranberry sauce.
Here's the thing: when you think
of
of a sauce is like a
Well, some
liquid.
people have for Christmas.
Cranberry sauce is not a liquid.
Y'all just talk. I'll be over here if you need.
You only
me.
eat it twice a year,
Am I
Christmas
right?
and Thanksgiving.
But is cranberry sauce? Cranberry sauce is not a liquid. Why do they call it a sauce?
Maybe not at your house.
Do any of you guys eat cranberry
it has a
sauce?
solid
we just asked them.
excluding Christmas and
Ronnie.
Thanksgiving.
All right. Anybody eat cranberry sauce like on a random march? No, doesn't happen.
Andy likes it
That
with
wasn't the question.
Andy
though.
likes it with his cereal.
We were talking Thanksgiving. I do.
You know,
Cranberry almond crunch. Thank you very much,
Dump
Dan.
some cranberry
Thank you
sauce
for
and throw a
bringing that
little
up.
milk in there.
There you go. Thank you.
How do you feel about cranberry sauce with your Guthrie's chicken fingers?
That'd be fabulous.
Sure it would. Guthrie's thanks the Auburn
be
family for over 40 years of business. Since day one, fresh, hot, and fast. Always been the Guthrie's promise. Find the nearest Guthrie's to you. Visit Guthrie'sChicken.com. You guys want to pick games or keep arguing about cranberry
My
sauce?
brother's already yelling at me about it, too, from Illinois. He's watching us. He says he doesn't like it either.
I'm still waiting on that Guthrie's delivery on stage here.
I thought maybe somebody brought Guthrie's.
Are we trying to divert the game picks because, who's ahead and who's uncatchable?
Wait. Catchable, no. I think you'll like no, you're up by 3 games, so it's pretty close. I thought maybe somebody brought Guthrie's, and that's why you almost jumped off the stage a little while ago, Jason.
He almost took us completely off the stage.
Yeah, I pulled my hip muscle doing it. But,
you talking about me being 51.
well, I was riding a bike, and my legs a little sore.
Let's get to the picks.
Here we go. My little boo-boo.
I didn't get to the ice,
All right. Stan's got the lead. He's 31-12 going in. Andy is second, 28-15. Then Ronnie, 26-17, and Jason is in fourth place, 25-18. That's 7 games over 500, though, Jason. That's
one
good.
game behind Ronnie.
We'll do like a Brent Musburger and start a show out there in Las Vegas.
Because I go on a limb. Y'all don't.
That's why.
That's
why.
You're losing.
Because you're a risk taker.
Yeah.
Vegas like people like you.
Moving on.
Boy, don't
add another story to that big hotel.
Another Taj Mahal coming because of Jason Campbell.
All right.
I get free rooms.
We have about 4 minutes here.
But you do.
Ole Miss is at Arkansas. Ole Miss just a 2.5-point favorite on the road in Fayetteville. Stan, we'll start with you.
Ole Miss at Arkansas. That's a good. That's going to be a good game.
Yeah, that's why it's on the list.
I think I will go with Ole Miss in this one.
All right, why?
I don't. Okay, I'll go with Arkansas. I got a 3-point lead.
Are you really changing, or are you going to go with
I'll tell you
Arkansas?
what. I got the first one, so I can change. Arkansas, Ole Miss. You know what? I will go with Ole Miss.
All right, you're going Ole Miss. Andy, you're
Ole
second.
Miss.
You're going Ole Miss.
Yeah.
Ronnie?
All right. I'm going to make this fast, so you don't even got to ask me again. I'm going to go Ole Miss.
No,
I'm
wait a
going
minute.
to go Oklahoma.
Ronnie.
I'm going to go USC and Utah.
That is not how this segment works.
You said 3 minutes. I figured between these three knuckleheads, they'll talk 3 minutes.
knuckleheads.
And so I might as well get mine in.
Oh,
right?
man.
That's how it works, right?
Knuckleheads.
He's just upset. He's in third place out of 4 spots.
Ole Miss,
What do you call
Can I get my pick in here?
Please.
Go, please.
Gosh, it's 22 degrees in Arkansas today, and
It
Kiffin
is.
doesn't like cold weather, so I'm going to Hogs in a snowstorm.
He's so desperate for points.
Validation is what he's desperate for.
Bedlam, Oklahoma State is at Oklahoma. The Sooners are a 7.5-point favorite. Andy, we'll start with you this time.
I will take Oklahoma at home.
All right, Jason.
I didn't hear him. Who they playing?
State.
It's Bedlam. It's Oklahoma,
Bedlam.
Oklahoma State.
It's Oklahoma. Where's it at?
It's in Norman.
Oklahoma.
It's in Oklahoma.
Yeah, Oklahoma.
Stan.
See why I picked already? See?
I'm going. I don't think either one of these teams is terribly good, but I'm going to go with Oklahoma.
All right, so that's a clean sweep then in Bedlam. USC at UCLA. That's a top 20 game out in L.A. And Jason, we'll go with you since we know Ronnie's already picked USC.
Well, I got to go on a limb here. Caleb Williams, USC. You know, I need UCLA to come through. I got to catch up. I'm going UCLA.
You're going UCLA. All right,
That is a debate.
That is out on a limb because USC is a 2.5-point favorite. Stan.
I'm going UCLA as well. They run the ball a little bit better. They run the ball better, and they also have a little bit better defense than USC. I'm going UCLA to win.
Good reasonings there. Andy, what do you say?
I'll go with Ronnie, USC.
All right, that one is split. 2-2. Utah is at Oregon. Oregon was a favorite early in the week, but there's some question as to whether or not Bo Nix is healthy and will play. He's a game-time decision. The line has changed. Utah now a 2-point favorite on the road at Oregon. Stan.
Ooh, wow. That's a good one if it's changed like that.
Yep.
I think I will go with
30 seconds, Stan.
I'll go
Music.
with we don't know if he's playing, right?
You got 45 seconds.
Utah.
Go. You're going Utah. Ronnie went Utah. Andy, what do you say?
Oregon.
Andy's going Oregon. Jason, what do you say?
Bo came back in the game last week, finished the game, so I don't know what all the hoopla is about Oregon.
Boy, that was such a confident pitch. Did y'all hear the confidence? Did you hear that certainty with which he said that?
He's in last place.
Oh, man. He was so sure when he said that. All right, that's our Guthrie's game picks for another week.
Like the back of your neck was sure before you woke up.
Oh, that's an old joke. He's wounded. He's in the corner. He's wounded. He's lashing out. Next week, by the way, for the Iron Bowl, point values will triple.
What?
For the Guthrie's
Hello.
game picks.
What?
That's right. Point values will triple.
I was just going to take the whole picks off because I was so
Second
far
hour
ahead.
next. Tiger Tailgate Show continues in a moment.
Dang it, Stan.
Thank you, Auburn, for over 40 years of business. Since day one at Guthrie's, we've been serving up the best golden fried chicken fingers, hand-chopped coleslaw, crinkle-cut fries, and our signature Guthrie sauce. Often imitated, never duplicated. We have 4 Auburn locations to serve you, including South College and our downtown location off East Glen Avenue, which is open until 3 a.m. every night. Fresh, hot, and fast. That's the Guthrie's promise. To find the nearest Guthrie's to you, visit Guthrie'sChicken.com.
Hey parents and kids, it's a perfect time for students to read their way to the Iron Bowl in AEA's Be a Champion and Read contest.
AEA wants to help K through 6th grade students to be academic champions, just like the Auburn Tigers.
Students who participate in the Be a Champion and Read challenge could win 3 tickets to the Iron Bowl and a chance to take the field on game day. Ask your teacher about contest rules.
Encourage your child to be an AEA champion reader and win a trip to the Iron Bowl.
Nobody protects you from mayhem like Allstate. I'm a grill at your college football party. My full grease trap? That's something you clean? Now you're smoking your car and garage instead of your meats. And if you don't have the right coverage, fixing this could be a trick play. So bundle your home and auto with Allstate to save up to 25% and get protected from mayhem like me.
Bundled savings discounts will vary by state. Saving up to 25% is a countrywide average of savings off the home policy. Combining the multiple policy discount for having auto insurance with Allstate and the welcome discount savings at enrollment.
When we say we're an everything school, we mean it. Since 1872, Auburn University graduates from the College of Agriculture and the Samuel Ginn College of Engineering have built on the land-grant mission to drive economic development, improve quality of life, promote social well-being, and enhance national security. Celebrating 150 years, come see why Auburn's College of Agriculture and Ginn College of Engineering continue to be pillars of the past, pioneers of the present, and foundations for the future. Visit auburn.edu.
This is a 2-minute drill on the Tiger Tailgate Show, presented by Conecuh Sausage.
All right, Brad Law here checking the Yellowwood scoreboard. We will start in the SEC where Texas A&M leads UMass 10-3. About 4 minutes gone by in the third quarter there. Midway through the third in Starkville, Mississippi State has added another touchdown. Bulldogs lead East Tennessee State 41-0. It is Alabama leading Austin Peay early in the third quarter, 17-0 in Tuscaloosa. And in Nashville, Florida has scored a touchdown, went for two, and did not get it. Vanderbilt continues to lead the Gators 14-12 with 10 minutes to go in the first half. Looking outside the SEC, top 25, halftime in Ann Arbor. Number 3, Michigan leads Illinois 7-3. 11 minutes to play in the third in Waco. Fourth-ranked TCU and Baylor are still tied at 14. 5 minutes to go in Orlando. Navy still leads number 20 UCF 17-14. And number 19 Florida State leads Louisiana 35-3. At halftime, it's Nebraska over Wisconsin 7-0. They're in the third quarter in Lincoln. Michigan State leads Indiana 24-7 early in the third quarter in East Lansing. And at the half, it's Pitt over Duke 20-14. Time now for our StubHub move of the game. If you have Upper Deck tickets, you're wearing Auburn gear, and you will go into the stadium in the next 15 to 20 minutes. Come to our stage here. We've got the StubHub sign. If you're the first person to come up and find us and let us know you want to be the winner of the StubHub move of the game, then you will go inside, and your Upper Deck seats will become lower bowl seats. We'll move you from the upper deck to the lower bowl, and you can enjoy today's Senior Day contest from the lower level. It's brought to you by StubHub, the official fan-to-fan ticket marketplace of Auburn Athletics. StubHub, be there. Second hour of the Tiger Tailgate Show in 2 minutes. This is the Auburn Sports Network.
Auburn women's basketball returns to Neville Arena this Sunday for a matchup against Alabama State.
Lob to the basket, Koulibaly in the air, it goes! What a pass from Honesty!
Tip-off is 2 p.m. Central, and tickets are available at aubtix.com. Don't miss the Tigers in their last game before the Las Vegas Invitational.
Catch and shoot, Duhan, splash!
Make your plans now to see the Tigers take on the Hornets at Neville Arena this Sunday at 2 p.m. Central. War Eagle.
Every Whataburger is made fresh and made to order. It's all the homemade goodness you could ask for. The patties, 100% all beef and never frozen. The veggies, cut in house for maximum freshness. The bread, delivered fresh. And the order, just like you like it.
Enjoy.
This is homemade at our house, and you're invited anytime you want. Seriously, we're open 24/7. Whataburger, just like you like it.
Are you looking to advance your career without putting your life on hold? Consider the flexibility of an online MBA at Auburn University's Harvard College of Business. Ranked among the nation's best by U.S. News and World Report, our 100% online MBA program provides the flexibility you need to pursue a degree while maintaining your personal and professional life. Learn more at harvard.auburn.edu.
Children's of Alabama reminds you that every child's head injury should be treated like a serious injury until a doctor says it's not. In fact, the CDC estimates some 4 million sports and recreation-related concussions occur each year. Even a minor fall or collision may be a concern. Symptoms typically include headaches, unsteadiness, confusion, or sleepiness. To find out what to do in case of a suspected concussion, visit childrensal.org/concussion and always dial 911 in case of an emergency.
Taking you neath the sun-kissed sky outside Jordan-Hare and across the SEC. It's time for another hour of the Tiger Tailgate Show presented by Conecuh Sausage. Conecuh Sausage is the official sausage and hot dog of the Auburn Tigers. Straight ahead, more special guests and matchup analysis as we move closer to kickoff. Here's Brad Law to start another hour of the Tiger Tailgate Show.
And we welcome you in as the sun tries to break out from behind the clouds. It is a chilly day, will be a chilly night for sure, but you know what? It's November. It's November football weather at Jordan-Hare Stadium as the Tigers get set to host the Hilltoppers of Western Kentucky in the home finale. More on the matchup as we go along. But as we start this hour, we are joined by Jeff Miller, author of the book Teammates for Life, a book about the 1972 Auburn football team. Jeff, thank you very much for joining us. War Eagle to you.
War Eagle to you, Brad. It's a pleasure to be here. And I want to first give a shout-out to maybe your most loyal listener, Paul Ellen.
Yes.
Who's sitting out this season. But I checked with the NCAA this week, and they said he does get this year of eligibility back.
He gets a 35th year?
He
Yeah.
does.
Yeah.
Good. He does.
Paul
good.
and Jeff did the 1976 College World Series together.
Wow.
Yeah.
And in Butch Thompson's vernacular, it was 2 in a barbecue that year. But that was a special team way back when the SEC was only 10 schools, and you had the Eastern Division winner and the Western Division winner.
Yeah.
And it was Auburn against Kentucky. It went up there for the first game and lost. Came back here and swept 2, and then went to Tallahassee for a 4-team regional. And behind the pitching of Joe Beckwith and Robert Hudson, beat Florida State in the finale.
So did Paul get his acerbic wit from you, or did he develop that elsewhere?
No, he's a product of his own environment.
Good point.
The pride of
All right.
Fitzgerald, Georgia.
Yep,
You came to Auburn in 1973, so you weren't even here for the Amazins year. How did the book come about then?
I was fairly ignorant of Auburn football upon my arrival here. I did come to freshman orientation in the summer, and probably outside J&M bookstore heard this 45 record played that began with, okay, we go to fourth down and 9 yards to go for the University of Alabama. And that was, of course, the Gary Sanders gusty year-out instant replay of 17-16. So beginning with my freshman year, Alabama proceeded to win the next 9 in a row in the series. And so for me, that game just kept growing in stature year after year and stuck with me even after Bo went over the top. And eventually I went into a career in journalism. When I was here at Auburn, I was actually in mass communication and looking to become a radio announcer. And this today is the closest I've come to that. I looked back and decided, I would really like to learn more about that team and learn not only the special bonds that they formed in being such overwhelming underdogs that season with the success that they experienced, but also how all these years later those bonds are as strong as ever, and they're helping one another, at this stage of their lives.
Jeff, so for people like myself, you mentioned your ignorance of Auburn football. Give us a little bit of backstory, how you arrived on the Plains, what was the draw? And I know, I was a mass communications grad, but, what was the draw to Auburn and the effect that it had on you once you got here?
Well, I grew up in the Northeast and was, as a high school student, was primarily just interested in pro sports. I have one sibling, an older brother, 3 years older, who went to Georgia Tech for engineering school. And so I said, it would benefit me to go away from home. Southeast looks good to me, and applied to a number of schools and took the advice of my guidance counselor, who said, I think Auburn would be a good fit for you. And he turned out to be exactly right. I graduated in less than 4 years because I stayed over 2 summers because I just liked being here. So I was out in December of '76. While I was here, I met my future wife, Frances, and I didn't know at the time that I was marrying into Auburn royalty because she would tell me, my grandfather was the coach here, Coach Marr. Oh. And so I looked in the media guide, and I'm looking for M-A-R-R.
Yeah, not spelled that way, is it?
It's just not there. What is she trying to pull on me here? And it didn't take much longer to learn that it was the very Irish spelling of M-E-A-G-H-E-R. And Jack Marr had a terrific career here from the early 30s into the early 40s before he went off for World War II.
The process of writing Teammates for Life. How many people did you talk to? How many hours did you spend talking to people? Give folks an idea of the kind of work that goes into putting a book like this together.
Well, of course, Brad, the primary focus was the players, the Auburn players. And I met with, I'd say, between 20 and 30 of the players on that 1972 team, many of them in person, some of them multiple times. Then also did some phone interviews. I talked to coaches. I talked to the training staff. I talked to managers. I talked to the announcers. I talked to cheerleaders, and also interviewed some opposing players, including Condridge Holloway, who was the quarterback of Tennessee at the time, who was from Huntsville. Rocky Felker, who was a quarterback co-starter at Mississippi State in that very first Auburn game that year, where originally Mississippi State was 2/3 of the way into the schedule, as it traditionally was back in those days. But some of us remember the time when ABC only showed 1 or 2 games every Saturday, and that's all anybody could watch of college football. And for that season, the great minds in New York back in the winter or the spring decided that Tennessee-Georgia Tech should be the kickoff game of the season. And they moved that game up in the schedule to September the 9th. And if that had been if Auburn had stuck with its schedule, when the Tigers played Tennessee in Birmingham, that would have been Auburn's second game and Tennessee's fourth game. And Coach Jordan was not enamored of that idea. And so he equally asked the conference, can we move this game with Mississippi State up to September 9th? And they did. And that was the first win of the season, 14-3 in Jackson. And people think back when, Condridge Holloway was the first black quarterback in the Southeastern Conference. And actually he was by only a matter of a few hours because Auburn played Mississippi State that night, and Melvin Barkham was the starting quarterback for the Bulldogs.
You can learn much more about this book on a future Talking Tigers podcast that comes out on November 28th. Jeff, where can folks buy the book, Teammates for Life?
Well, it's available online via Amazon. I believe also on the website of Barnes & Noble. It's available through the website of the publisher, which is Archway Publishing. And for anyone who's familiar with the book that David Housel did a year ago, Back Booth at Chappie's, that's another Archway product. I have 2 signings scheduled so far. One is on December 2nd, the 50th anniversary of the 17-16 game of 2 block punts, Bill Newton and David Langner. Friday, December 2nd, in Homewood at a bookstore called Alabama Booksmith. And then on Saturday, December the 10th, right here in town at J&M Bookstore on that Saturday afternoon from 1 to 3. Trey Johnston, by the way, was a walk-on on the 72 team. So there you go.
Yeah. All right. Jeff, thank you very much for joining us today, and it sounds to me like the book would make an outstanding Christmas present for folks in our listening in our coverage area.
Thanks so much. It's been a pleasure to be here, gentlemen.
War Eagle.
Absolutely.
Good to have you,
War
Jeff.
Eagle. Jeff Miller, he's the author of Teammates for Life. By the way, he's written several other really compelling books as well. Game Changers, about the racial integration of major college football in the state of Texas, and then Battlefields, Football Fields and Battlefields. 8 West Point seniors at Army who in 2003 went winless on the football field, and follow that by going off to war. Really compelling stuff from Jeff. Make sure you look him up and look up all of those works. Stay with us. First, the Tiger Walk report. That's right, the Tiger Walk report. Tiger Walk has just wrapped up. We see the stream of people flooding back this way as they come from Tiger Walk. Another energetic and enthusiastic time as the players make their way into Jordan-Hare Stadium. Those 24 seniors going through Tiger Walk for the final time in their Auburn careers. Tiger Walk report presented by Hibbett and City Gear. They have all the hottest brands, Nike, Adidas, Jordan, and more, including all the latest releases. Check out a Hibbett or City Gear store near you or visit Hibbett.com. Hibbett, a proud supporter of Auburn football. The Tiger Tailgate Show continues in a moment.
Recruiting plays a major role in team building. Recruiting also plays an important role in protecting my home from termites with Cook's Pest Control and the Centricon system. Termites eat the bait in the Centricon stations, then eagerly recruit other termites to also feed on the bait, thus eliminating the termite colony. You don't have to live with termites. Call Cook's Pest Control for a free quote.
Looky, 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 here comes Cookie. Cook's Pest Control.
People take their chili seriously. At Whataburger, we also put chili on a pedestal made of 100% fresh beef. The new Whataburger Chili Cheeseburger, made to order with our own chili on 2 all-beef patties, melty cheese, onions, mustard, and crunchy corn chips. This is chili elevated to burger height. Introducing the all-new Chili Cheeseburger from Whataburger. Just like you like it. For a limited time at participating locations.
Hey, I'm Charles Barkley. Call for a Redmont and water at bars and restaurants throughout the great state of Alabama. Redmont Vodka, available at select ABC stores and package stores. Redmont Vodka is 8 times distilled, gluten-free, and is made from non-GMO corn. Looking to support a local business? Redmont Distilling is Alabama proud and minority owned. Learn more online at redmontdistilling.com.
Children's of Alabama reminds you that every child's head injury should be treated like a serious injury until a doctor says it's not. In fact, the CDC estimates some 4 million sports and recreation-related concussions occur each year. Even a minor fall or collision may be a concern. Symptoms typically include headaches, unsteadiness, confusion, or sleepiness. To find out what to do in case of a suspected concussion, visit childrensal.org/concussion and always dial 911 in case of an emergency.
This is a 2-minute drill on the Tiger Tailgate Show, presented by Conecuh Sausage.
Brad Law and Ronnie Brown, and Andy has just stepped off the stage. So we're going to be able to talk about Thanksgiving and the spread and get we got some of your cranberry thoughts, but I want to know about the other thing. No, Andy, stay. No, this isn't you. This is Ronnie's time. Thanksgiving side dishes. You didn't get a chance to weigh in on this before because you got dragged into the cranberry thing.
Yeah, I'm more of the side dishes are my favorite. Starting with the cornbread dressing, not stuffing, cornbread dressing.
Yeah.
Macaroni and cheese. Yeah. Either sweet potato casserole or mashed potatoes.
Yeah.
Do green beans. Or greens.
Pretty traditional stuff.
Stuff.
Is there anything that'll be on the Thanksgiving table at the Brown house that maybe is not traditional, something that you wouldn't normally find?
No? We're pretty traditional at the Brown household.
What about Thanksgiving desserts? What's your favorite?
Well, I'm more of a cheesecake person, so I like cheesecake. We always do pecan pie.
Yeah.
And then some type of cake.
Some type of cake? That varies from year to year?
It may, My sister-in-law makes a butter cake sometimes. So just depending.
Yeah.
Red velvet cakes, one of my favorites.
You're going to have anything left over maybe that you bring with you to Tuscaloosa next Saturday?
Probably not. Even though Thanksgiving, I enjoy it the day after. It's usually better.
Oh, it is.
The day after.
Everything is.
Yeah.
You ever make a leftover sandwich with the turkey and the dressing?
No,
like
we do
put
the
it right
turkey,
there on the sandwich?
What do you call it when you put the gravy and the thing when you have it for breakfast?
Casserole? Like a breakfast casserole?
No, it's not casserole. Someone said it.
All right. We'll find out when we step away for this break. We'll have more in 2 minutes. Stay with us. This is the Auburn Sports Network.
It takes hard work to be the best in the game. Planning, commitment, resilience, sweat. That's why Old Dominion Freight Line, the #1 national LTL carrier for quality, works hard to be the best in the game and is proud to support those striving to be the best in theirs. Old Dominion Freight Line, official freight carrier of Auburn Athletics, helping the world keep promises.
Hi, my name is Jackie, and a little thing that I love about the Chick-fil-A peppermint chip milkshake is the whipped cream and the cherry on top. It's like a little bow on top of this great present of peppermint chip goodness. It tastes like the holidays.
Hey, my name is Chandler, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A peppermint chip milkshake is the little pieces of the peppermint that you get. For me, no milkshake is topping the peppermint chip milkshake.
Order a Chick-fil-A peppermint chip milkshake on the Chick-fil-A app today. Available for a limited time. Real customers paid for their testimonials.
Hey, this is head coach Bruce Pearl. Here at Auburn, we revere our traditions. But it's the tradition of hard work that really speaks to me. It's about improving your game every single day and being the best that you can be. In the truck game, Ford has a tradition too. A relentless commitment to building smarter, tougher, and more dependable trucks. That's why I drive Ford F-150, the official truck of the Auburn Tigers. Learn more at buyfordnow.com.
Not all models, trims, or features may be available. Contact your dealer for more information.
Hey, Auburn fans. It's time to stretch those legs and reach for another bag of Golden Flake. Home or away, with family or friends, you know no game day is complete without your favorite snack. So enjoy Golden Flake or any of our other delicious snacks from the Utz family of brands and sit back for the rest of the game. Golden Flake and Auburn football, a winning team. Simple, Southern goodness, Golden Flake. Celebrating 65 years as the official salty snack of the Auburn Tigers.
We are back on the Tiger Tailgate Show presented by Conecuh Sausage. We were going to be joined by Roger McCreary in this segment, but game day traffic has held him up, is what I'm trying to say. And so we will not be able to visit with Roger on the show today. He sends his regrets, and that's a shame, man. He is having a great season with the Titans. They are leading their division.
They had a big win the other
Thursday
night. Yeah.
at Green Bay.
Yes,
yes.
at Green Bay. Yeah.
So, and he's doing well. He's got 61 tackles, an interception, had 5 tackles in that game. McCreary and the Titans are 7-3. They're leading the AFC South, and they host the Bengals next Sunday in another big game. So all the best to Roger McCreary for the rest of this season. So, guys, instead, we'll talk a little bit about this game and get your take on this Western Kentucky team and the matchup against Auburn. Auburn has run the ball really effectively over the last 4 games, over 1,000 yards rushing the last 4 games. So they're averaging more than 250 yards a game. However, last week, just 6 completed passes, only 1 to a wide receiver. Stan, Jason, what do you guys expect to see maybe different from Auburn as they make some adjustments in the passing game this week?
Well, if you look at it, Western Kentucky's got a really good defense. They're first in Conference USA, giving up only 21 points a game. They're second in Conference USA in rush defense, giving up 145. And they're giving up close to 230 a game in the air. I think that, and you've heard Cadillac this week say, hey, we love the fight. We love what we're doing on the ground game. He still wants to see improvement in the passing game, and that's what's got to, especially going into next weekend and today, you got to work on that passing game, that downhill, and you want to execute pass plays. Ronnie and Jason, y'all jump in here that are not extended busted plays. Right. You want to sit back in there, have time, read the defense, and be able to fit it in there.
Yeah, you think about Western Kentucky defense, they lead the country in forced turnovers. So, this is a team that knows how to get after the football and knows how to attack, but they also know they can take a gamble because their offense scores so many points. So you get ahead on teams. So in this game, I think, like we talked earlier, running the ball against this team has given them fits. And I think in this game, that'll help us. But what Robbie has to do to keep us on schedule is don't make the simple hard. You always hear me say that is, when there's a routine passing play there, a hitch or slant or out route, or when guys are wide open, just make sure you just don't try to do too much. Just put it on him. Let the guy get an opportunity to run out the catch and keep yourself in down and distance that's third and short and manageable, or you can continue drives and get into a rhythm. You're not 3 and out. So consistently passing the ball today will help us, because I expect them to pack the box and say, hey, if your quarterback can beat us throwing the ball, then fine. But we're going to put as many guys in there we can.
Ronnie, Auburn had 4 explosive plays last week, plays of 20 yards or more. Nothing really just eye-popping. They stayed on the field. I mean, they won time of possession by 12 minutes over Texas A&M a week ago, but they weren't quite able to finish those grinding out long, high play count drives. So does Auburn need more explosive plays in order to finish those drives, get into the end zone? If they hit a couple of more of those last week, then that game's not anywhere near a close game in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, I think it's a tale of 2 things. One of those being self-inflicted wounds. I think, with the turnovers starting in the, on their side of the field, The timing of some of those penalties put them out of field goal range, which would have gotten an opportunity to be able to put at least a field goal on the board, or even just the timing of it, just be able to try for a third and short or, a potential fourth down try. And so that's one of them. And then, two, there was just a couple opportunities they missed, a couple of those big plays. There were a couple opportunities, just a little bit of an overthrow with Jarquez on the wheel route down the sideline. And so just taking, like Jason said, making the simple easy and being able to take advantage of those things and not make it hard. I think that's key for them, and being able to sustain some of those drives and just doing the fundamental things, is throwing, catching, blocking, tackling. And if you do those things really well, then you put yourself in opportunity to be successful. But you have to make sure that you're doing those things, and then occasionally you'll make one of the great plays, but you have to make the ones that you have.
Stan, defensively, what's a big key for the Tigers today against an offense 5th in the nation in first downs? Now, they've played 11 games. They have 265 first downs. That's an average of about 24 first downs a game. Auburn didn't give up a first down to Texas A&M in the third quarter. They got off the field in a hurry last week, to the point that a couple of guys were saying, man, I kind of wanted them to get first down so I could stay on the field. I got bored coming off the field in 3 plays. So against an offense like this, what's the key to getting off the field and shutting down what they do?
Well, the big thing is, I'll go back to 2 weeks ago when Auburn faced a predominant passing team in Mississippi State. It may be a little different philosophy passing, but it's still a passing team in Mississippi State. What did they do different in the last 3 quarters than they did in the first quarter? They got after the quarterback. I mean, they got after Will Rogers, and they made him uncomfortable in the pocket, and they forced turnovers. You got sacked, recovered fumbles, and I think that's the key today. Western Kentucky passes for 336 a game, and so they're going to get yards passing. But I think the recipe for that, a passing team, is if you sit back and drop 7 or 8 and don't get pressure on the quarterback, he will pick you apart. I mean, Austin Reed has 31 touchdowns this year, only 7 picks. So he's a very good quarterback, very dynamic. You have to put pressure on him like Auburn has done the last few weeks, and that's been the change. That's been the difference.
Yeah, Derek Hall, Colby Wooden, even a guy like Morris Joseph Jr., who's celebrating Senior Day today. Watch those guys on the defensive front, see the kind of push they're getting, and see how they can affect the quarterback. And the extension of the running game, which is little screen passes, we're going to see a lot of just traditional handoffs to the running back today in this Western Kentucky offense. All right, we're going to talk more about it as we go along, more in the matchups, and more certainly as we get inside of an hour of kickoff between Auburn and Western Kentucky. Still now a little more than 90 minutes away. Hey, we're introducing the new Wickles Pickles Bacon Burger from Jack's. 2 juicy all-beef patties topped with bacon, French fried onions, and the sweet yet spicy taste of Wickles Pickles. Try one before it's gone. Only at Jack's. All about the South. More special guests coming up when the Tiger Tailgate Show continues in a moment.
The Auburn University College of Veterinary Medicine is the South's original veterinary medical program and the nation's 7th oldest. We are a leader in preparing students for careers in veterinary excellence, transforming animal health care and innovative research and discovery to improve the health of both animals and humans. Independent surveys of pet owners and referring veterinarians rank our teaching hospital tops in the nation. Learn more at vetmed.auburn.edu.
We've invented a new messaging system using the crisp sounds of Bud Light. Crisp Code, Lesson 86. This is how you say, gee willikers, it's a hot one. Let's cool down with some Bud Lights. And that's it for today. Bud Light, crisp.
Enjoy responsibly. Bud Light Beer, Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
Putting together a winning drive
30 long from the shotgun.
Takes focus, determination,
There's the snap, dropping back.
and that powerful form of energy
Scrambles to his right, looking downfield.
called belief.
Launches it toward the end zone.
That belief in a team, in a community of fans, in each other.
Touchdown!
That powerful energy connects us all. Alabama Power is a proud supporter of the Auburn Tigers. Power for a better Alabama.
Who out there likes to eat chicken? Did you know that when it comes to chicken production, Alabama rules the roost? In fact, we're ranked 2nd in the country in broiler production. That's meat-type chickens, with nearly 2,600 poultry farm families raising more than 1 billion birds a year. Alabama's poultry industry adds more than $15 billion a year to the state's economy and provides jobs for almost 90,000 Alabamians. So be sure to prepare your favorite chicken dish this football season.
This is a 2-minute drill on the Tiger Tailgate Show, presented by Conecuh Sausage.
Brad Law checking the Yellowwood scoreboard, and an update from Nashville. Every time Florida punches once, Vanderbilt punches twice. Commodores lead the Gators now 28-12 inside of 2 minutes to go in the third quarter in the Music City as the Commodores look for a second SEC win. Meanwhile, elsewhere in the league, 8th-ranked Alabama shutting out Austin Peay. It's 27-0 as they play late in the third quarter in Tuscaloosa. Texas A&M has added a field goal to its offensive barrage today. The Aggies lead UMass 13-3 early in the fourth quarter. Elsewhere in the top 25 today, it is number 3 Michigan tied with Illinois 10-10 late in the third quarter in Ann Arbor. Number 4 TCU has taken a lead at Baylor as they go to the fourth quarter in Waco, 20-14. Horned Frogs on top. Number 19 Florida State leads Louisiana 49-3 as they play midway through the third quarter in Tallahassee. Elsewhere, outside of the top 25, Army leads UConn 20-17. They're late in the third quarter at West Point. Liberty looking for another win over a Power 5 opponent. The Flames lead Virginia Tech 22-17 as they play late in the third. In the Big Ten, a trio of scores. It's Nebraska leading Wisconsin 14-3 as they go to the fourth quarter. They go to the fourth in West Lafayette. Purdue leads Northwestern 14-3, and Michigan State's lead over Indiana is down to 7, 31-24. 5 minutes to go in the third period. In the Big 12, number 15, Kansas State doubling up West Virginia 14-7 midway through the first quarter. And in the Pac-12, it's Washington State leading Arizona 7-0 as they play midway through the first. James Daniel on the stage next in 2 minutes. This is the Auburn Sports Network.
Conecuh Sausage is a product we all know and love, and it's the official sausage and hot dog of the Auburn Tigers. Conecuh Sausage is made from the finest cuts of pork, patented blend of seasonings, all natural casings, and smoked over a pure hickory fire for that true southern flavor. Enjoy a crowd-pleasing Conecuh Sausage dog or premium hot dog while watching the Tigers, and make Conecuh part of your game day or any day. Conecuh Sausage is celebrating their 75th year. The Sessions family making their premium smoked sausage in Evergreen, Alabama. Be sure to visit the new Conecuh gift shop right off I-65 at exit 96.
Hillman here with This Week in Auburn Athletics. Number 13, Auburn men's basketball defeated Texas Southern last night, 72-56, to move to 4-0 on the season. Head coach Bruce Pearl talks about the win.
Yeah, that's a good win. We guarded throughout the game. We played as a good physical team. We turned it over too much. We're sloppy a little bit offensively. That cost us in the South Florida game. It cost us in this game. We got to do a better job of taking care of the basketball.
The Tigers return to action on Tuesday for the Cancun Challenge against Bradley at 5 Central. Auburn Sports Network coverage begins at 4:30. Number 3 Equestrian took down defending national champions and number 7 Oklahoma State yesterday 15-4. The victory gave Auburn a 6-1 record at the conclusion of its fall schedule. Women's basketball returns to Neville Arena tomorrow. So is Alabama State at 2 Central. Coverage begins at 1:45 locally on FM Talk 93.9 and everywhere on the Auburn Athletics app. To view full schedules and more information, visit auburntigers.com. For This Week in Auburn Athletics, I'm Jacob Hillman. War Eagle.
When we say we're an everything school, we mean it. Since 1872, Auburn University graduates from the College of Agriculture and the Samuel Ginn College of Engineering have built on the land-grant mission to drive economic development, improve quality of life, promote social well-being, and enhance national security. Celebrating 150 years, come see why Auburn's College of Agriculture and Ginn College of Engineering continue to be pillars of the past, pioneers of the present, and foundations for the future. Visit auburn.edu.
Back on the Tiger Tailgate Show is Auburn and Western Kentucky getting set to do battle today in Jordan-Hare Stadium, the final home game of the regular season. And nice crowd out here at Jordan-Hare Stadium listening to the Tiger Tailgate Show. And hey, that's brought to you by the Auburn Tigers. Put their trust in Auburn AV. Every home game for their best fan experience, and so should you. Bring the football game day experience home when you have an Auburn AV design and install your home entertainment system. As the preferred audiovisual provider of Auburn Athletics, Auburn AV has has what you need. Learn more at auburnav.com. Here this segment, Britt Bowen along with Jason Campbell, Ronnie Brown, and a special former coach here is our guest, Coach James Daniel. He was the offensive line coach with the Tigers back from 81 to 1992. Coach Pat Dye's entire tenure. Coach, welcome back, War Eagle.
War Eagle.
How's it? So I learned something new about you and your family as I was getting to know you off stage. Is you never moved from Auburn. This has always kind of been your home base. What is it about Auburn that wanted to keep you here and keep you around this community and in Auburn University?
Well, I had a great stay here. I enjoyed everything that I went through here, and being here during the year that I was here, there was a lot of success and had a lot of friends here. So. And part of the time I was coaching, I was in some weather so cold that it was always good to get back here.
Yeah, Mr. James, we were talking a little bit before we came on, and you were saying that, you grew up with Tomka High School. What was the connection to Coach Dye, and how did you get here to Auburn to be a part of that staff?
Well, I think sometimes it's a mystery how you get to where you get to in coaching. But when I finished at Alabama State, I was coaching down in Enterprise, Alabama, and I guess one of the things that helped my career was I had 2 or 3 linemen coming out every year that was playing SEC football. So I think that was the connection that got me a job interview here at Auburn, because I had a couple guys that I don't think I had one to come to Auburn. I had a couple go to Alabama, couple go to Tennessee. but I developed a relationship with some of the coaches, and when he was looking for a staff, I came in and interviewed, and I guess we had a lot of similar backgrounds, so that brought me into the fold.
Yeah, your reputation preceded you, and obviously he was like, if I can't get the players, I need to get the man that's developing the players.
Well, we signed some now. Once we signed a few of them after I got here. But I sit there, and he came up here and talked to him, and we talked a little bit about football, and we talked a lot about growing up on the farm, because I grew up on the farm and knew farm work and all that kind of stuff, and he grew up on the farm also. So we talked a lot about that, and then, we talked about football and talked about life, and we hit it off pretty good, and that was a lucky break and a good decision for me. So.
Yeah. Well, Coach, you're retired now, and you're going to enjoy the good life now. You have to get up so early and go in for meetings and different things. Talk about during your tenure here. We was talking before we got on the air about the success that y'all had when you was here for those 12 years coaching at Auburn. What was it like to coach with Coach Dye, and what was y'all message to the players?
I think the biggest thing was he taught basics, and the basics were doing the right thing in all phases of life. Guys had, and we practiced hard, and we practiced long, and guys had to be consistent and very good practice players, but they had to be good students. The guys had to go to class, and we had to make sure they go to class, and when they didn't go to class, there were consequences. There was consequences for doing the right thing. I think is the big thing that gave us the platform to have the success that we had. And he did it in a way where your parents do it. He believed in that, and he disciplined guys, but he loved guys also. And when we went on the field on Saturday, they were always going to play their heart out for him. And he knew that anything that came up with them, they knew that anything that came up with them, he was going to back them. And so that was I guess the communication back and forth, and the feeling that you get that you in his corner and he's in your corner gets guys to play hard for you. Right. You all know that. You've been around ball, so
right.
Do the right thing all the time.
Right. And as you talk about that, the mindset, obviously, like you said, I had the good fortune of speaking with Coach Dye as well, but just kind of knowing that you said you guys connected over the farming aspect, so obviously he knew you were a hard worker if you're willing to do that. But just in your tenure as a coach, you coached a lot of guys, you coached over a wide range of time. How has the game changed, and what would you like to see revert back, or some similarities to when you were coaching?
People talk about that all the time, but I'm not sure how much the game, some rules and some things have changed, but coaching players, I don't know that it's changed a lot, because to to coach a player and to have a player believe what you're saying, he's got to have confidence in what the things that you're telling him are true, and that it's going to help, and it's going to help their career. You know, when you're coaching at the high school level, a kid will listen if what you're coaching him is going to help him get a college scholarship.
Right.
And when you're coaching at the college level, if you're coaching a guy and he gets to understand the things that are going to give him a better opportunity to get to the next level, he's going to buy into and believe everything you tell him. And people ask me, say, well, when you go to the pros, and those guys are different than the guys in the college guys, you know, because they're making money and it's a job for them. But I found out the best players that I coach since I've been coaching pro ball, they're as excited about coaching as anybody you ever coached.
Right.
Because a guy, you know, when you playing pro ball, all you're looking for really is the next contract. And if you got a guy that can help you hone your skills enough to get him to the next contract, and that next contract's bigger than the other contract, you his best buddy.
Right.
So that's the way it goes, you know. So.
Right. And as you talk about relationship, I mean, I think what we're seeing now here with Cadillac Williams, who's also a former player, a teammate of ours, how important is the relationship? As you said, like when you get to those levels, it's about having a relationship, but also holding those guys accountable and being, you know, I think representing what they're supposed to represent in a good way, but also getting better, whether it's pursuing that scholarship or that next contract. Like, how important is the relationship part? Because these guys seem to be playing really hard for a guy in Cadillac Williams who talks serving and you know, and I think that's his big thing.
I think relationship is the biggest part of it, because that's what you got to get them. When someone is working at something and they're committed to it and believe in it, you're gonna get a lot better effort and you're gonna get a lot more out of them than you are if you're telling them one thing and what they seeing from you is something different. It's hard for guys to buy into that. Right. But if you convince them that everybody's in the boat together, then you got a chance to get the boat going in the right direction, in my opinion.
Coach, what do you think about Coach Cadillac and what he's been able to do and bringing this Auburn family together here in the last 3 weeks as Auburn tries to close out the season strong this year?
Well, I think keeping up with it. I think he's done an excellent job. I saw the Mississippi State game on television. I sort of planned to be here last week, but one of the players that I coached that at Pittsburgh was going to the Hall of Honor, so I had to go to Pittsburgh last week for Heath Miller to be inducted in the Hall of Honor in Pittsburgh, and I missed the ball game last week, but I was excited about what happened here last week.
Well, speaking of Pittsburgh, not going to let you get off stage without talking about that longtime NFL career coach and a two-time Super Bowl winner with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Coach, how did this time at Auburn as a coach prep you for that time and that storied career in the NFL?
Well, it's most Pittsburgh was just an extension of because the hard work and the things that you had to put into for the success here at Auburn was similar in the same things that you had to deal with in Pittsburgh. So,
well, Coach, as you settle into retirement, how do you look back just in your time at Auburn and being with Coach Dye, and how has that impacted who you are today and who you are as an Auburn man, Coach?
I think it's had a big impact on it, and really, you know, people talk about Auburn and where Auburn is right now, and you know, to me the main thing is, and I think Coach Dye did a very good job of it, is getting everyone in the Auburn family convinced and pulling in one direction. You know, I think everybody has a favorite guy, and you like this guy and you like that guy, but I was here and heard somebody talk about Coach in the documentary that they did about him, and at the end he said, you know, I wish you wouldn't step down right now. And the statement he made is as big as any that I've ever heard in my life, when he said, I might be able to not, but I think this is the best thing to do for Auburn right now, and I'm going to do it because it's the best thing to do for Auburn. And I think if all Auburn people come together and just do the things that are best for Auburn, then you got a chance to be successful and successful at a high level again.
Coach, thanks for the wisdom. Thanks for the stories. Appreciate you joining us today. War Eagle.
All right, War Eagle. Happy to be here.
That is Tigers former assistant coach James Daniels. Stay with us. We have more coming up on the Tiger Tailgate Show. The Tiger Tailgate Show continues in a moment.
Nobody protects you from mayhem like Allstate. I'm your friend's lucky jersey that's never been washed, and I'm stanking up the back seat, overpowering all of your senses, so you don't see the brake lights up ahead. And if you have cut-rate car insurance, you're going to be all out of luck. So switch to Allstate, save $744, and get protected from mayhem, like me.
Average annual savings of new customers surveyed in 2021 who reported auto savings when switching to Allstate. In most states, prices vary based on how you buy. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
In 1925, Modelo began brewing beer for those who believe in better. A model beer, steeped in the tradition of tireless effort. A rich Pilsner-style lager for those who wear their heart and heritage on their rolled-up sleeve. Since our first batch to every bottle raised today, we've proved that it doesn't matter where you come from. It matters what you're made of. Modelo Especial, brewed for those with a fighting spirit. Drink responsibly. Beer imported by Crown Imports, Chicago, Illinois.
Qatar, here we come.
Christian's travel agency has one goal.
Talk to you soon.
The world's biggest soccer tourney.
The hotel is 7 miles from the stadium. Are you serious? Did you email the transportation company?
Now he needs an Arabic interpreter on his roster.
I don't speak it either.
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
The holidays are right around the corner and I'm ready. Why? I use HelloFresh. HelloFresh delivers delicious recipes and more right to my door, so I can skip that extra grocery store trip, take a break from meal planning, and enjoy this special time of the year. HelloFresh always has something new to try, with over 35 chef-crafted seasonal recipes each week. Sign up today for 65% off, plus free shipping with code FOOTBALL65 at HelloFresh.com/football65. That's code FOOTBALL65 at HelloFresh.com/football65.
This is a 2-minute drill on the Tiger Tailgate Show, presented by Conecuh Sausage.
2-minute drill, joined by Jason Campbell. Jason, we're going to stick with a trend today on the Tiger Tailgate Show. Less than a week from Thanksgiving. All right, this is a new dynamic for you this year. First off, where are you spending Thanksgiving now that you're a married man?
Well, we'll spend the first one at home.
Okay,
this
that's
year,
good.
try to spend the first holidays at home, and get the family to come to us and have everyone in one household.
That's a wise man. Okay, all right, but that's a lot of pressure that comes with that because you're responsible for the spread. What's on the spread at Casa de Campbell?
That's easy.
Yeah.
I can cook a little bit.
Can you?
Yeah, but fortunately, I have a wife that can cook better. But we're gonna have some. You never heard of turkey ribs?
Turkey rib? No, I've never heard it. Okay.
Turkey wings. Of course, you're gonna have the ham, the turkey.
Sure.
And, the dressing, the casserole, all those different things. And you get into your desserts. I like to skip all the rest of it. Let's just go to the desserts. Give me some pound cake. Give me some red velvet cake. Some banana pudding. Some people have a chocolate layer cake. Some pecan pie, pumpkin pie.
Buttermilk pie? You a buttermilk pie guy?
Too
not
sweet?
A
huge buttermilk.
Okay.
Yeah, that's too much sugar for me.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Well, then that's why I was wondering, because you're on this health kick. All right. And good for you. I'm not, but good for you.
Yeah, part-time.
Well, that's what do you take a week off for Thanksgiving?
Oh, yeah. You got to take a week off for Thanksgiving. I lead up my 3 weeks of Thanksgiving and working out. Just for Thanksgiving week, it gives me a little bit of cushion and room. And then I go back on my 3 weeks until Christmas.
What about a turkey trot guy? Do you do the turkey trot before you hit the dinner table?
Well, I like to put my turkey and grind it a little bit, and then put it out there on the grill and let that baby turn for a couple hours, and give you a good smoked turkey.
Well, a missed opportunity. You should have had turkey ribs today here on the Tiger Tailgate Show, but we'll have to save that for next year. Stay with us. We have more for Auburn and Western Kentucky. This is the Auburn Sports Network.
Put an orange and blue bow on an Auburn basketball game day with the Regions Bank postgame show. Exclusive interviews with Coach Pearl and players, plus final analysis, a complete breakdown of the numbers, and a look ahead to the next game. Regions Bank is a proud supporter of Auburn athletics and the official bank of the SEC. It's the perfect way to put the finishing touches on an Auburn game day. The Regions Bank postgame show, only on the Auburn Sports Network.
The Edward Via College of Osteopathic Medicine in Auburn is dedicated to its mission of transforming medical students into caring, compassionate physicians. VCOM partners with Auburn University for student activities, shared learning experiences, and research opportunities. Students are instructed in a hands-on learning environment by outstanding faculty members that are dedicated to student success. VCOM is working to improve the health of Alabama's citizens by increasing the number of primary care physicians throughout the state, especially in rural and underserved areas. Find out more at vcom.edu.
Hey, Auburn fans. It's time to stretch those legs and reach for another bag of Golden Flake. Home or away, with family or friends, you know no game day is complete without your favorite snack. So enjoy Golden Flake or any of our other delicious snacks from the Utz family of brands and sit back for the rest of the game. Golden Flake and Auburn football, a winning team. Simple, Southern, goodness, Golden Flake. Celebrating 65 years as the official salty snack of the Auburn Tigers.
How are you the ultimate Auburn fan? Because I got this air horn installed in my throat. Pretty sick, right? Yes, you look really sick. What doctor would even do this? Doctor? I did this myself. I mean, I can't swallow whole food, but still. Wait, what? Just gotta plow through it. Hey, can I get a couple of soups up here? What about some chamomile tea?
Don't be that guy. Get a fan card. The smart way to be the ultimate Tigers fan. Just go to auburncards.com.
About an hour and 15 minutes from kickoff between Auburn and Western Kentucky. Hey, the Picks for Kids program is back for 11th season. Chick-fil-A is donating $1,000 to Children's of Alabama for every interception by the Auburn defense. The Picks for Kids program benefits more than 1,800 kids each month in the Hearing and Speech Center at Children's. War Eagle and Eat More Chicken. Britt Bowen here with Jason Campbell and Ronnie Brown. A typical scene outside the Tiger Tailgate show. Jason and Ronnie passing around items for autographs. No one's ever asked for my autograph, but that's okay, guys. Final non-conference game of the season. Final home game of the season. Tigers coming in 4-6. This is a good Western Kentucky team coming in. Guys, just your initial thoughts on this matchup today.
Well, I mean, I think you're talking about picks to start this segment.
Yeah.
There's going to be some opportunities for that because this Western Kentucky football team, they put the ball in the air, and they put it in the air a lot. And so you're getting a chance to defend the pass, getting a chance to create opportunities, and that's going to be big. But more importantly, I think it's going to be huge for this offense to be able to stay on the field, converting third downs, not doing the self-inflicted things that we saw a little bit of last week, the jumping off sides, the false starts, the penalties, things of that nature, and trying to create and keep time of possession, one-sided, because you don't want this team to have the ball a lot because they're going to try to throw it around, Jason.
Yeah, the one thing about this team, they use their short passing game as far as like swing passes and flare routes, as we call them, as short run plays for them. And you have to understand that their quarterback, he's up for the Davey O'Brien Award. Yeah. So, he's the guy that knows how to throw the ball around. He does a really good job protecting the football for the most part with 31 touchdowns and 7 picks. So knowing that, you understand we have to get pressure on him. We have to kind of do what Stan said, what we did to Mississippi State in the second half. Get to their quarterback, create fumbles, sack fumbles, make him get the ball out of his hand a lot quicker than he wants, and create those turnovers and give our defensive backs an opportunity to get some interceptions and flip the field for our offense. And our offense today got to play a little bit of defense. And what I mean by that is control the clock by running the football, staying on the field, staying in short manageable downs so that we can't be predictable on what we want to do in third and short, and put ourselves in a situation where you can utilize Robbie a little bit more in bootleg packages and nakeds, as we call them, as well. So, we'll see how it goes today as far. But it's going to be a lot. It's going to be a tough game than people think. Like, this is a 7-4 football team. And the thing about it, this is their biggest game of the year for them. Yeah. And, you've seen a lot of their fans here earlier today tailgating that way. So, our guys got to come out ready to play and put last week behind them, but get ready for a big game today.
Yeah, this Western Kentucky team, you guys mentioned it, so much talent on both sides of the football. They actually took Indiana to overtime earlier this year. They lost that one 33-30. Guys, this is going to be a battle. How did you guys, back when you were playing, how did you guys get ready for these non-conference games such as Western Kentucky, knowing they're coming in, and you've got a target on your back because you're at the SEC Power 5 school?
Yeah, for us it was just, it's all about staying on schedule. Like trying to do all the things each and every week, respect your opponent. We didn't look at these guys and say, hey, we're Power 5 and, you think you're just going to come out here and dominate them. Yeah. We understand at the end of the day, they're still 18 and 22-year-olds just like you are, and they want nothing more but to come in here and to upset you. So in order to keep that from happening, you got to make sure you come out here and you let them know early and often that they're in a different atmosphere. Yeah. If you let them hang around, now you're in a dogfight.
Well, the one thing that stood out to me when this 3-3-5 defensive scheme is how good Western Kentucky is at forcing turnovers. I mean, they're one of the top teams in the country, guys, at forcing turnovers. Number one is getting interceptions. So how does that impact Robbie Ashford, this passing game today for Auburn, who had little success last week against Texas A&M? As they trying to pick it back up today?
Yeah, and I think one of the things you have to credit Texas A&M with is they have one of the top defensive passing or defensive pass. Being able to stop the pass in the league. And so you have to give them that credit. But then also just looking at it, it was good to see Tank and both Jarquez go over 100 yards last week. And so looking at that, in addition to being able to have Robbie to be able to get out, utilize his legs, I think that's really important. And so you're going to have to run the football. You're going to be able to run it a lot and run it effectively. When you talk about a 3-3-5, it's really a 4-2 because when you get the 3-down linemen, they got one guy that they'll designate as down anyway. And so just trying to mix and match and try to create some mix-ups with the line. But if they can come out and run the ball effectively and build on what they did last week, I think Auburn has a good shot at that. And then get some easy passes for, Robbie. It's kind of like some of the things they'll be trying to do, some short passes to the running backs out of the backfield, some quick throws to the tight ends, and just kind of getting it easy to break it up and getting those guys to loosen up a little bit so you can effectively run the football.
You guys mentioned Tank and Jarquez, rightfully so, but how about this offensive line that stepped up the last couple of weeks? It's easy to give Tank and Jarquez all the credit, but how this offensive line has just improved, especially the last 3 or 4 games, has really helped Auburn, has been the reason behind that success.
Yeah, they changed the offensive line around.
Yeah.
They moved some guys around. I think they found themselves something with the 5 guys they have up front now. And then Kendall Simmons, getting into that role over the last 2 weeks. Will Friend moves to offensive coordinator. Kendall Simmons comes in as the offensive line coach. And so now this is a guy that played in the NFL, played at Auburn for a long time, and he knows exactly what it takes to get down and be gritty and dirty inside those trenches. And I think he's bringing a different mindset and element to the offensive line, where you saw last week a little bit of different run game. You saw some back hidden plays where we ran some counters and some powers where we hit it backside where our guys was able to get back and make some big plays. And like I said, so this is an offense that has looked different over the last couple of weeks, the way we run the ball, passing the ball like Ronnie said. Robbie got to get involved in the short passing game. We got to hit some flats, hit some stick routes, some slants, and hopefully that gets him in a rhythm.
That's going to do it for the Tiger Tailgate Show presented by Conecuh Sausage. Thanks to our guests John Cohen, James Daniel, Corey Edwards, and Jeff Miller. Now stay tuned for the Outdoor Alabama Countdown to Kickoff, featuring more matchup analysis, the SEC report, starting lineups, interviews with Carnell Williams, coordinators and players, and more ahead of today's game against Western Kentucky. For Andy Burcham, Ronnie Brown, Jason Campbell, Brad Law, and Stan White, I'm Britt Bowen. Thanks for listening to the Tiger Tailgate Show. The Tiger Tailgate Show continues in a moment.
Things we take for granted, ordinary opportunities for parents and their children, can be a foster child's extraordinary. You have the power to do something positive that will change the life of a young person right here in Alabama. Open your heart and open your home to a foster child today. For more information, visit www.dhr.alabama.gov or call 1-866-64-AL-KIDS. Brought to you by the Alabama Department of Human Resources, the Alabama Broadcasters Association, and this station.
Toyota presents How Far Did They Drive? In the 2005 Iron Bowl, Auburn was dominant on both sides of the ball, with the Tigers jumping out to a 14-0 lead. Late in the first quarter, Auburn had one more drive to extend its lead.
The handoff and give it to Obamanu on the reverse. 45-40, got it blocked. 35-30, cuts it left. 25-20 to the 15, to the 10. There goes Ben to the 5. Touchdown, Auburn! 45 yards, 20-0 Tigers.
The four-play drive covered 55 yards in 1 minute and 39 seconds. The score was Ben Obamano's second of the first quarter and gave Auburn a 21-0 lead en route to its fourth straight win over Alabama. Visit your local Toyota dealer or go to Toyota.com today. No matter your destination, Toyota goes with you. Toyota, let's go places.
And we're back with breaking news. Coke Zero Sugar might be the best Coke ever.
That's right, Jim. Coke Zero Sugar is a must-try for any Coke fan, so make sure you... Jim. Jim. We're on the air.
Ooh, yes, this tastes like the best Coke ever to me. Your thoughts, Jen?
Well, can I have a sip?
Jen, we're in the middle of reporting the news.
I need to try it first.
This is a 2-minute drill on the Tiger Tailgate Show, presented by Conecuh Sausage.
Auburn Sports Network partnering with Alabama Gulf Seafood. I say it every week. This is my favorite segment because it does a couple things. It highlights 53 miles of beautiful coastline along Alabama's Gulf Coast where I grew up, and it also promotes the 30 million pounds of fresh Alabama Gulf seafood caught each year. Here this segment to talk about Alabama Gulf Seafood is Kevin Tudhope of Baumhauer's. Kevin, War Eagle, thanks for joining us.
War Eagle, guys.
All right, I see some great trays up here. What Alabama Gulf Seafood did you bring for us today?
Today we rolled out our fresh Alabama Gulf shrimp and mixed it with our fresh tacos and threw a little bit of our sweet Thai chili.
Ooh.
It makes it our Bam Bam shrimp.
Bam Bam shrimp. Okay, I've said this before. The Bam Bam shrimp, you can have them as an appetizer, but I haven't had them on tacos before, so I'm looking forward to trying this, right?
Next level, bro.
Next level. All right, what other Alabama Gulf Seafood do you guys have out at Baumhauer's?
We've got several items on our menu. As you mentioned, the appetizer with the Bam Bam shrimp. We've also got a fish taco. We got a fish dish. Several different things we're rolling out.
What's some good seafood this time of year with the holidays that come up? If someone wants to throw a curveball, what's a good seafood item to serve this year?
Typically, this time of year is when we start getting a lot of orders for our etouffee. We have a shrimp etouffee dish that is really, really good. And this time of year when it starts getting colder, that's really what people are looking for.
Kevin, thank you so much for joining us. This is the Alabama Gulf Seafood segment. Find out all the info you need about the recipes and locations to eat Alabama Gulf Seafood at eatalabamaseafood.com. Also on social media at AL Seafood on Twitter and Instagram and Alabama Seafood on Facebook. Coming up, the Outdoor Alabama Countdown to Kickoff as Auburn hosts Western Kentucky. We go to the stadium next. Stay with us. This is the Auburn Sports